And to continue our discussion, we are now in the Classroom Observation Tool RPMS for school year 2021-2022 na may dalawang bahagi po. Ang una po ay sa proficient teachers, teacher 1 to 3, at ang pangalawa po ay para sa mga highly proficient teachers, master teacher 1 to 4. Una natin pag-uusapan ang COT ng mga proficient teachers, teacher 1 to teacher 3. This is now the rubric level summary for proficient teachers. So the rater will give the rating of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 depending on what level ang ipinapakita ni teacher sa mga indicators na mamimit natin later during the classroom observation. So these are now the level label. So pag nag-rate ng 3, automatically the level of the teacher is organizing, meaning the teacher demonstrates a limited range of loosely associated pedagogical aspects of the indicator. So pag nag-rate naman ng 4, so automatically underdeveloping yan, which means that the teacher demonstrates a range of associated pedagogical aspects of the indicator that sometimes are aligned with the learner's developmental needs. If the rater will give 5, it means that the level is on applying. It means that the teacher demonstrates a range of associated pedagogical aspects of the indicator that usually are aligned with the learner's developmental needs. If nakakuha naman ng 6, it means that it is consolidating and it is described as the teacher uses well-connected pedagogical aspects of the indicator that consistently are aligned with student development and support students to be successful learners. If the teacher will get a 7, its level is integrating, which means that the teacher uses well-connected pedagogical aspects of the indicator to create an environment that addresses individual and group learning goals. We must always put in mind that in every time mag-class demonstration tayo, we must be focusing on the learner's developmental needs so that they can become a successful learner, or maybe we can address individual and group learning goals. So those are the things that we need to consider when we are going to have a class demonstration. Okay, natapos natin yung proficient teachers. Tingnan naman natin ngayon ang sa mga highly proficient teachers from master teacher 1, 2, 3, and 4. Unlike sa proficient teachers na 3 ang lowest, 7 ang highest, dito sa highly proficient teacher, magsa-start tayo sa 4 and 8 is the highest. So when you get a score of 4, it means that you are underdeveloping. Its description is that the teacher demonstrates a range of associated pedagogical aspects of the indicator that sometimes are aligned with the learner's developmental needs. Katulad pa rin ng level nung nasa level 4 pa rin ng nasa proficient teachers. 5 applying, 6 consolidating, 7 integrating, and to raise the bar higher, 8 po discriminating. So ano bang ibig sabihin ng discriminating? The teacher applies deep knowledge and understanding of the indicator discriminately to contextualize teaching and learning processes within the discipline to meet individual and group learning goals. So papasok na dito on how we are going to contextualize teaching para po ma-meet natin ang individual and group learning goals ng ating mga learners. Now, tingnan natin ang bagong rating sheet ng teachers 1, 2, and 3. So, meron itong The first page has 5 indicators. So, nandyan yung column ng 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at no na may asterisk na isa. Later, malalaman natin ano ibig sabihin ng isang asterisk sa no dyan. So, ang indicators ngayon ay sa first page ay 5 na. Apply knowledge of content within and across curriculum learning areas or teaching areas. Number 2, display proficient use of mother tongue, Filipino, and English to facilitate teaching and learning. Number 3, use effective verbal and nonverbal classroom communication strategies to support learner understanding, participation, engagement, and achievement. Number 4, establish safe and secure learning environments to enhance learning through the consistent implementation of policies, guidelines, and procedures. And number 5, maintain learning environments that promote fairness, respect, and care to encourage learning. So, magre-rate na si rater from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and no. Sa baba niyan ay yung other comments na ng observer. Ngayon, if you are going to plan for a classroom demonstration, make sure that your lesson plan ay makukuha nyo ang lahat ng indicators during your classroom demonstration. Okay, sa second page na ngayon ng indicators, ito na ang number 6, 7, 8, 9 na indicators. Nandyan pa rin yung column ni 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at ni no na may 1 asterisk. For number 6, maintain learning environments that nurture and inspire learners to participate, cooperate, and collaborate in continued learning. May 2 asterisk. Tingnan natin mamaya ano bang ibig sabihin ng 2 asterisk na yan. For number 7, apply a range of successful strategies that maintain learning environments that motivate learners to work productively by assuming responsibility for their own learning. 2 asterisk pa rin. So number 8, design, adapt, and implement teaching strategies that are responsive to learners with disabilities, giftedness, and talents. May 3 asterisk. And number 9, adapt and use culturally appropriate teaching strategies to address the needs of learners from indigenous groups. 3 asterisk. So, ano bang ibig sabihin ng isang asterisk sa no kanina? So, dito sa baba, no stands for not observed, which automatically gets a rating of 3. So, pag nag-check si principal, si master teacher, si head teacher ng no, automatically hindi niya na-observe yon. At ang points na makukuha ni teacher doon ay 3. Ngayon, yung may mga 2 asterisk, yung indicator number 6 at indicator number 7, do not accomplish if the ratee opted to present set A. Ano ba yung set A? Supplementary material of means of verification of objective 7 and in number 8 in the RPMS tool for proficient or RPMS tool for teacher broadcasters. So, pag pinili ni teacher na mag-comply ng set A na MOV, automatically si 6 at si 7 ay wag nang isali sa indicators na check i-rate ni observer during classroom demonstration. Okay? Yung 3 asterisk, indicator number 8 and indicator number 9, do not accomplish if the ratee or the teacher opted to present set B. Okay, halimbawa, set B ang gustong i-present na MOV ni teacher, wag nang i-check ni rater itong indicator number 8 or an indicator number 9. Ano ba yung nasa set B? Yung teacher reflection form as means of verification. So, pag teacher reflection form ang gustong isubmit ni teacher sa indicator 8 and 9, automatically, hindi na po siya isasali si 8 and 9 sa i-observe ni rater during the classroom demonstration. Ano ba yung teacher reflection form? As we go on to this topic, ay makikilala natin kung ano ang teacher reflection form. Now, let's proceed to the COT form of the master teacher 1 to 4 or the highly proficient teacher. So pareho pa rin, ang pagkakaiba na lang ay yung rating. 4 hanggang 8, nandyan pa din si no. So ito na yung mga indicators sa first page ng COT form ng mga master teachers. 1. Apply knowledge of content within and across curriculum teaching areas. 2. Use a range of teaching strategies that enhance learner achievement in literacy and numeracy skills. 3. Use effective verbal and nonverbal classroom communication strategies to support learning understanding, participation, engagement, and achievement. 4. Establish safe and secure learning environments to enhance learning through the consistent implementation of policies, guidelines, and procedures. And the 5th indicator in the first page of the COT form is to maintain learning environments that promote fairness, respect, and care to encourage learning. Sa baba niyan, yung comments na ng rater. Again, master teachers, we need to plan a good lesson plan na pag ma-demonstrate natin ay makuha natin itong 5 indicators under rating number 8. So, we need to plan it carefully na makuha natin si indicator 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sa page 2 ngayon ng Master Teacher's Rating Form, ay nandoon ang indicator number 6 at indicator number 7. Design, adopt, and implement teaching strategies that are responsive to learners with disabilities, giftedness, and talents. May 2 asterisk siya. And number 7, adopt and use culturally appropriate teaching strategies to address the needs of learners from Indigenous group. Ngayon, hindi na yan kailangan pang i-accomplish kung ang ratee pumili ng MOV ng set B. Ano ba yung set B? Magsasubmit lang siya ng teacher reflection form. So pag sinabi ni teacher na I will just be submitting a teacher reflection form before the classroom observation, automatically ito si 6 at si 7, hindi na to i-accomplish ni rater. Ngayon, pag nakakuha siya ng no, pag na-check ni rater ang no na column, automatically, it means that it is not observed and the master teacher will get automatically a rating of 4. Now, nabanggit natin sa mga PowerPoint slides natin before, yung word na teacher reflection form or TRF. So, ito na yung mukha ni TRF. So, let's start with teacher 1 to 3. So, nandyan sa name ni teacher, rater, date submitted, subject, and grade level. So, the direction says to reflect on your own attainment of the RPMS objective by answering the questions or prompts provided. Use any local or official language that you are comfortable with, and you have to use extra sheets if needed. Please limit your response to 500 words. So, ito na yung objective number 9. Design, adopted, and implemented teaching strategies that are responsive to learners with disabilities, giftedness, and talent. So this is now the prompt. Prompt number 1. The context is, Clara is often seen restless or unfocused in class. She also has troubles following instruction and skips activities when left unsupervised. Ito na yung action taken. You had a conference with her parents and found out from them that Clara was diagnosed with a learning disability. Now, the question is, how will you modify the instructions for Clara to keep her focus on classroom activities? Write your reflection in this form. Mention in your reflection a specific learning disability that you are familiar with or have research on. So, dito na, based on the prompt and the question, you as a teacher will give your own reflection, the teacher reflection on how you are going to assess or give answers or answer the questions that are given based on the prompt that you have read. So, in this case, it will answer objective number 9. Okay, still on objective number 9, Prompt number 2, design a lesson plan for the gifted and talented learners based on your idea on how they may be addressed in your class. Your strategies for the gifted and talented learners must be highlighted and annotated in this form. Attach your lesson plan here. So yan pa rin. So, for objective number 10, adopted and used culturally appropriate teaching strategies to address the needs of learners from Indigenous groups. This is prompt number 1. Below is an assessment activity for a class of 30 learners, 5 of which belong to an Indigenous peoples or IP group. Evaluate the appropriateness of the activity to your learners. Write your response in this form. This is now the direction. For your assessment, research on the following roles in your community by asking your parents or anyone with knowledge on these roles. Choose from set A and set B. Explain why these are important roles. For set A, the mayor, the councilors, and the medical officers. While in set B, the datu or the chieftain, the community elders, and the healers. Still in objective 10, another prompt is you have to design a lesson plan for your class that integrates aspects of the Indigenous people's culture using national mandates on Indigenous people's education as reference. So, Republic Act number 8371 or the Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act of 1997, also known as the IPRA. Next is the Deped Order number 62 series of 2011. Ito na yung pag-adopt ng National Indigenous Peoples Education Policy Framework, and yung Deped Order number 32 series of 2015 adopting the Indigenous Peoples Education Curriculum Framework. The integration of IP culture in the lesson plan must be highlighted and annotated in this reflection form. Attach your lesson plan here. So this is the prompt number 2 under objective number 10. So for the master teacher, under objective number 9, meron pa rin ganyan. This is na example. Assisted colleagues to design, adapt, implement teaching strategies that are responsive to learners with disabilities, giftedness, and talent. So ito na yung mga ginawa. So example dito, may observation notes form na ginawa si master teacher based on the class observation of MAPE grade 7. So yun na ang lalagyan ng reflection ngayon ni teacher by following the question as well as the prompt. So again, just like the teacher 1 to 3, ang prompt number 2 is to design a lesson plan under objective number 9. This is now the teacher reflection form for master teachers for objective number 10, develop and apply teaching strategies to address effectively the needs of learners from Indigenous groups. This is prompt number 1, and after reading the prompt number 1, the master teacher will do the following and be able to write a reflection 500 words. And finally, this is reflection number 2 of objective number 10. So again, yung mga reflection number 2 is to design a lesson plan. Kung napapansin natin kanina, yung prompt number 2 at reflection number 2 focuses on making or designing a lesson plan. So this is now the rubric as guide of the raters kung paano bibigyan ng rating yung reflection form ng mga teachers. So outstanding, 5, very satisfactory, 4, satisfactory 3, unsatisfactory 2, and poor 1. So pag nakakuha ng 1 na rating, it means that reflections, annotations, do not meet the expectation of the TRF prompt. It means that they are incomplete and totally disconnected from what is asked. Kung unsatisfactory naman, it partially meets the expectation of the TRF prompt. It means that they are either complete or incomplete and show limited knowledge about the topic and the question. If the teacher can get the rating of 3 satisfactory, it means that it meets the expectation of the TRF prompt, which means that they are complete and show sufficient knowledge about the topic or the question. If the teacher gets 4 as a very satisfactory, it means that exceeds the expectation of a TRF prompt, which means that they are complete and show comprehensive knowledge about the topic and question by providing accurate details. And if the teacher can get 5 as outstanding, it means that it exceeds the expectation of the TRF prompt, meaning they are complete and show comprehensive and in-depth knowledge about the topic or question by providing accurate details and some critical inputs or creativity. So, ito po ang pag-rate ng mga rater sa mga teacher reflection format. Okay, similar to Teacher 1, 2, 3, meron ding rubric for Master Teacher. So pareho lang po ang makukuha ng Master Teacher at Teacher 1, 2, 3. So outstanding 5, very satisfactory 4, satisfactory 3, unsatisfactory 2, and poor 1. Then after the cycle, so maggagawa na o magsasagot na yung mga teacher ng self-assessment tool. So ito na yung self-assessment tool ng teacher 1 to 3 during COVID. The tool has 3 parts. Part 1, the demographic profile. Part 2, the objectives. The part 3 are the core behavioral competencies. Para sa part 1, please shade the circle of the demographic information applicable to you. For part 2, objectives, please shade the circle that corresponds to how you rate the objectives based on level of capability, level of priority for development. At the bottom of each page, there is the opportunity to write about any aspects that you feel are relevant to the objectives on that page. And for part 3, core behavioral competencies. Please shade the circle of the behavioral indicators for you that you demonstrated during the performance cycle. And finally, for the master teacher, pareho pa rin, mayroong 3 parts, demographic, objectives, and core behavioral competencies. So pareho lang ang self-assessment tool for proficient teacher and highly proficient teachers for school year 2021-2022 in the time of COVID-19.